the state's offer. The state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You have credit for 12 days that you've already spent in jail. The court costs in this case of $502 will be waived because the court has found that you indigent pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Ms. Whittington, do you understand the state's offer and the court's finding?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that it's fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Whittington, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Whittington, you're gonna stand on the X, well, not X anymore. Just have a seat, and the court clerk, when she's ready for you, she's to my immediate right. She's gonna call your name, you're gonna go before her, follow her directions. Once you finish following her direction, then you'll follow the bailiff. Okay?
Thank you.
Mr. Ballard?
Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 0156. And the case is styled the state of Texas versus Maureen Nino. Miss Pinino, is that your full name?
Right, yeah.
Okay. They have Moraski on here, but they have
She's got a
Pinino alias.
It's an alias. Benito Moraski.
Yeah, I'm not married anymore. Maraski is my married name.
Okay. Okay. So, Miss Panino Moraski, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So, yeah.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing?
So well yourself.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, do you waive a record in Miss Panino's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, in this case, Ms. Panino, I have a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Karine Panino, on or about December 5th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No problem.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges.
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Correct.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. And the initials look like CMP.
Correct.
Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you place your signature on this document?
Yes, on that second page, I kind of have trouble concentrating sometimes, so I was really paying attention to what he was saying. Is there is it an issue with the paperwork being accurate to what I'm being charged with and what I'm claiming to no contest that doesn't line up with the paperwork that's in front of your face correctly, like I didn't sign the right line?
You signed the right, you entered a plea of no contest. Let me back up to that page. Okay, your initials CMP are on a line next to a box that's checked nola contendere.
Okay.
Nola contendere means no contest. Okay,
Correct.
and these are your initials, is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And you identified your signature on page 3 of the same document, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Of the line that's titled defendant. Now, on the next document is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you will be waiving your right to an appeal, which means you'll be giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I have that discovery certification. That's what I have. I also have a document that is titled discovery certification. Miss I was just saying,
Got it.
the discovery certification, well, they got, but her name in the captions is Panino. It should be Panino.
I know, Judge, but she's it's an alias in America.
I know. Well, only thing I'm saying is,
Yeah, I printed that.
yeah, yeah, you could
from
just,
the information I had.
okay, you could just scratch through Araski and put Panino because the caption, you can't change the caption.
Sure.
It came-
The reason why they have it underneath that is because my driver's license hasn't, or my identification.
I understand.
card hasn't been changed or.
Okay.
whatever.
I was just making sure that the paperwork is the same.
I just did that.
Okay. Now, Miss Panino, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
normally it's without the Muraski. I don't sign Muraski.
Okay, but I'm
You just
saying,
asked if you signed.
is
Okay, I
this your
did sign it.
signature?
Yeah,
Okay. Now, Miss Panino, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Correct, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the best of your knowledge?
correct.
Now, Ms. Panino, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes,
State, I have before me States Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer States Exhibit number 1?
Yes, sure.
Any objections? Mr. Macy?
No objection.
And also, I'd like to offer State, would you like to offer States Exhibit number 2?
Yes.
No objection.
No objections, States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Macy, you've advised and counseled Ms. Panino, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Panino, your attorney, Mr. Macy, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Panino, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Do your honor.
And what is that
Your
agreement?
state for plea of guilty, no contest, states agree to recommend 10 days in Jefferson County Jail and court costs. Defendant has credit for 10 days. It has to be time served, judgment, and tax and retire with court costs.
Okay. Ms. Panino, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 10 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already spent in jail.
Yes, sir.
The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That just simply means that you would not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it all. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Panino, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Correct, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Just please have a seat over there in the jury box. And then when the clerk is ready for you, she's gonna ask you to come up to her window.
Ms. Whittington?
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session and calls number M333942. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Rodney Cole. Mr. Cole, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cole,
I need divorce.
Rodney Tavares Cole?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Cole, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cole, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cole, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Cole? That's good. Mr. Cole, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, do you waive a record in Mr. Cole's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, I have before me a document that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office titled Information. This information alleges that on or about October 29th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Cole, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Cole, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest?
Please not guilty, but you know.
Okay, well, just go ahead on and, now you're in a plea of not guilty, is that correct? Okay, so Mr. Porter, you can go ahead on and put Mr. Cole back. And Mr. Cole, will be appointing an attorney to represent you in your case. Next person. Yes.
Sorry, Judge, it's not been said to me.
Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session, court is in session and calls number M323318. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Quintel Craig. And Mr. Craig, your full name is Quintel Craig?
Yes.
Mr. Craig, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Craig, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Craig, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Craig?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Craig. You're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney John Macy, Attorney Macy. Do you waive a record in Mr. Craig's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Craig, I have before me a document that is titled First Amended Motion to Revoke Probation. This motion was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this motion, it alleges that you, Quintel Craig, on the 27th day of September of 2021, that you were found guilty for the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest, detention. And your punishment was assessed at 180 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $500. The court probated the confinement portion of your sentence and you were placed on probation for a period of 2 years. In this motion, there are 12 allegations. State, are you abandoning allegations 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12? Mr. Craig, the state is abandoning allegations 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That simply means that the state will not be pursuing those allegations in your motion. However, the state will be pursuing allegations 1 through 6. Allegation number 1 alleges that you, Quintel Craig, failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court on April 18th of 2022 as directed in violation of condition number 4 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
Yes, sir.
Is it true? You have to say true or not true. True. Okay. Allegation number 2 alleges that you, Quintel Craig, failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and as far as possible as ordered by the court in violation of condition 6 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 3 alleges that you, Quintel Craig, failed to abstain from the use or possession of any drugs except those taken or possessed under doctor's orders as ordered by the court in that on or about September 9th of 2021, November 22nd of 2021, January 12th of 2022, February 16th of 2022, February 22nd, 2022, March 23rd, 2022, April 4th, 2022, May 3rd, 2022, May 13th, 2022, May 24th, 2022, and July 7th, 2022, that you, Quintel Craig, provided a urine sample for a scientific analysis that showed the presence of metabolic byproducts of tetrahydrocannabinol, commonly referred to as marijuana, in violation of condition 12 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 4 alleges that you, Quintel Craig, failed to abstain from the use or possession of drugs except those taken or possessed under doctor's orders as ordered by the court, and that on or about February 22nd of 2022 and May 13th, 2022, that you, Quintel Craig, provided a urine sample for a scientific analysis that shows the presence of metabolic byproducts of opioids in violation of condition 12 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 5 alleges that you, Quintel Craig, failed to perform community service hours as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 6, allege that you, Quintel Craig, has failed to submit to alcohol and drug screening, on December 7th, 2021, January 20th, 2022, March 21st, 2022, April 1st, 2022, April 13th, 2022, April 20th, 2022, April 26th, 2022, and May 5th, 2022, as ordered by the court in violation of condition 15 of your probation. Is that true or not true?
True.
Mr. Craig, are you pleading true to allegations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading true because they are true?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Craig? Hold on. Okay, see you later. Now, Mr. Craig, I have before me a document that's titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. In this document, it has Quintel Rashad Craig. That's your full name, Mr. Craig?
Yes, sir.
In this document, misdemeanor plea admonishment also labeled State's Exhibit Number 1. There's a box check MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials, QC, that are on a line that's next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I'll need this MTRP.
That's not that one.
That's not, okay. That was the guy we didn't do last time, okay. Mr. Craig, prior to signing and initialing all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Craig, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you'd like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor. In addition, the state would ask to take judicial notice of the court's filing cause number 3233318. Also, the defendant's plea of true through allegations 1 through 6. Find those allegations true and proceed.
Okay, Mr. Macy, do you have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, The court is going to, no objection states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Court will also take judicial notice of the court's file, the filings and pleadings in the court's file. Now, Mr. Macy, you advised and counseled Mr. Craig. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Craig, your attorney, Mr. Macy, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Craig, I will accept your plea of true to allegations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and your probation is hereby revoked. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do.
And what is,
In exchange for a plea of true and allegations 1 through 6, the state's group recommend 30 days in Jefferson County Jail and court calls with credit for 30 days, but that's to be time served and to tax the power and court call.
Mr. Craig, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court cost in this case is $57. However, you will not be required to pay the $57 court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Mr. Craig, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Craig, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Craig, just have a seat in the jury box. And when the court clerk is ready for you, she's gonna call your name. You just go to the window, follow her instructions. Once you finish following her instructions, you'll follow the bailiff. If you don't have anything else holding you in jail today, you should be getting out. You are.
That was Quintel Craig.
Court is back in session and cause number 23CCCR0074 case established State of Texas versus Raiden Thomas Roberts. Mr. Roberts, is that your full name? Yes. Mr. Roberts, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Roberts, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Roberts?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Mr. Roberts, you represented in your case by your attorney, John Macy. Attorney Macy, do you waive a record in Mr. Roberts' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Roberts, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about April 8 of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Roberts, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Roberts, there are a set of initials, RR, that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes. The first box says check states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box says check states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the
Yes.
line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Roberts, before you signed and initialed these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Macy, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Macy went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Roberts, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macy, you advised and counseled Mr. Roberts. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Roberts, your attorney, Mr. Macy, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Exchange for plea of guilty or no contest, states agreed to recommend 10 days in jail, and court costs, 10 days credit for jail, that's to be time served, and that's the tax to return the court costs.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you have already served 10 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, it will be taxed and retired. Mr. Roberts, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roberts, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Roberts, this will conclude your case. If you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Just have a seat in the jury box, and when the court clerk is ready for you, she's gonna call you to come up to a window. When you go up to the window, please follow her instructions. And once you finish following her instructions, follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day. Thank you. Court will be in recess.